Good afternoon, YouTube. Home Theater Joe here. As usual, I hope y'all are happy, healthy, and doing well. Today, we're going to talk about the LG C1 and EVO panels. So, before you hear, I have the bedroom panel, which is an LG C1, acquired yesterday. It is the EVO panel. So, let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. I had a good feeling that this was going to be an EVO panel because of the date produced. Now, if we go over here again to where it says norm, if you look right above, it says WBE MMG GZ. Now, if I remember correctly, GZ is China, so it is the WBE panel. Okay, we know that for sure, and I have not seen any pink tint as of now, but I'm not running any test patterns through it. So I'll show you where we are with the display and kind of the whole story behind this, right? So as I said, this display was picked up last night. Where do I find this stuff? Devices, maybe? Yes, there we go. Sorry, still learning the display, the menus and stuff. So obviously 65C1, PUB, we know that. Total power on time, 8 hours. I'm currently on the third cycle, I believe. So again, with this panel, I'm going to go 4 hours, no more than 4 hours at a time, and then turn it off for at least 1 hour at a time. So this panel only sees 4 hours of on time at a time until I get to 200 hours. And of course, I'll mix that up with SDR and HDR content. That is how I'm choosing to break in this panel. We will see if it's any different from the C10 I own, the 77C10. Now, one thing I will say about this panel, it's the same as the other C10 as talking about color. The color looks really good out of the box. It does have the digital noise issue going on, and the uniformity on this panel is not great. You can kind of see it when I pull up the LG content store or something. But as far as viewing content, it's not noticeable at all. So, yeah, it's a thing with all the LG panels I've owned. The uniformity is not what I would call great by any means, but definitely not noticeable in content. So I'd like to come or tell you about how we came to this point here. So early September, I ordered a 65 C1 PUB panel from an online retailer at eBay, which was, a perfectly fine experience. I actually purchased the panel before all the sales started going on, and the panel was on sale through them at a very good price. So I think it was $1,800. All said and done, I paid $1,900 for the panel. However, it did take 3 weeks to arrive, about 21 days. So that was a little frustrating, which it did miss McKenna's birthday, which was a shame. And I had to keep sitting on that, man. I couldn't tell her that, her birthday present was coming in the mail because I wanted to be a surprise. So anyway, so then it came, and it didn't dawn on me to check. I just started breaking in the display, and I finally checked the service menu and realized it was a WBC panel. Now, I didn't notice any pink tint on that one, so I kind of never bothered to check. But once I did, of course, I was a little let down because I want to compare the old panel to the new panel, obviously. And so the retailer, kind enough to take the display back. They sent somebody here to pick it up. That was kind of a fiasco, but it did end up happening last night. So then I found the local Best Buy that had a display. I purchased it. I went in store and checked the box. Now, here's what I want to get to. So on the box that they delivered, I did check the build date, which on the outside of the box, there will be a serial number. It will say something like LG OLED 65 PUB, and underneath that, it will have a serial number and a series of numbers and letters. The first C1 that was delivered here to the house had the the numbers 103 to start, and then it went like oh shoot, I don't remember, but it was the Mexico made panel, which, by the way, I thought that panel was lovely and had lots of potential. So I have read some stuff where they're saying that, on the AVS forums that all panels are made in Mexico. And I can't speak to that, but it appears that panel was. As well, it was produced in, let's see, March of this year. So the first number, 1, dictates the year it was made, 21. The second number was 3. So that dictates the month. So it was like, I think 103, or yeah, I think that was it. So when I went to Best Buy, that's just setting you up for here. When I went to Best Buy, I saw 2, actually, LG C10s, 65, ready for store pickup. And I went and checked both boxes without seeing the names on them. And one panel, this panel, was made in, let's see, the number was 109. So last month, this panel was manufactured. And as I said, we saw the GZ or whatever, so that typically means the panel was made in China. On the outside of the box, it did have the MMV or whatever code it was. So I'm thinking the panel was made in China and maybe the TV was made in Mexico. I have no idea. But what I do know is the letters we saw represent China. This panel was made in China. And this is the panel I was after. So instead of ordering through eBay in an obscure retailer that doesn't have the, I guess, pool to draw from, see, that was my mistake in thinking that I would probably get an EVO panel. And by the time it arrived, it didn't matter if I checked the box for the date or not, because it was already here. So when I'm at the Best Buy, I checked the 2 boxes. The box next to this one was made this year in July, I believe. I believe it had an 07. So obviously, I wanted this panel. It was the newer, and my name was on it, so great, got to take it home. Another thing I'm reading a lot on the forums is that you will not get an EVO panel in a 65 or 55-inch TV. There seems to be still a lot of confusion behind that, or at least bickering, for lack of a better word. Well, as you saw here with the service menu, this is a 65-inch display, and it does have the EVO panel. A lot of the speculation online is that you will only get an EVO panel if it's a C1 if you go 77 or 83. So I can definitively put that to rest right now. In front of you is a 65 C1 EVO panel. Now, why is this important to me? Because, yeah, it's not the G1. I understand that. It doesn't have the software and yada, yada, yada. But now I get to directly compare my C10 to this C1, one being the WBC panel, one being the WBE. So I think this is all kinds of cool, and I'm very excited. We'll wait for this display to get 200 hours on it. We'll take some numbers. Man, it is going to be exciting. So, yeah, the 2 biggest things I want to get through here are that for sure, for certain, now we know, you can get a 65 LG C1 EVO panel. And I would venture to guess, y'all, that you could also get a 48 and 55 EVO panel. So my second thing I want to drive home here is looking at the serial number on the box. And as opposed to trying to save money and going with an obscure retailer, which has an impeccable service record, mind you, the retailer I chose to go with, they were very pleasurable to work with. The wait time was a little much, but hey, that's what shipping and everything is right now. So I don't blame the retailer. But the lesson is, so if you go to Best Buy, so many C10s and C1s walk in and out that door. Okay, they get them delivered, and then the customers come and buy them. So as I said, this panel was put together last month, okay, in September. And it was already on the showroom floor at Best Buy at the very beginning of October. So that tells me somehow or another this panel got to Best Buy's showroom floor very quickly. So my advice is, if you're like me and you do want that EVO panel, buy from Best Buy. Because you have the ability to walk in the store. If you don't like what you see on that serial number, the year and the month, if you have a feeling, well, hey, this can't be an EVO panel because it was made at the beginning of this year, or say it was a panel made last year, then you can be sure that, hey, this is probably not an EVO panel. So you can ask the Best Buy employees, as I would have done, hey, I need you to go in the back there and look at these numbers, and you give me the most recent number you can. Please and thank you. Yeah, so that's my experience with this. Man, I'm super excited about it. And this video has gone a little longer than I wanted it to. So let me go ahead and wrap a little medium-sized bow on this one and tell you that if you have any questions or comments, please, I want to encourage you to put them down below. It only helps the community. We grow, we get smarter, we get stronger. And that's a good thing. So I want to encourage that. And now I think you know what time it is, right? As always, thank you for listening. Be good. Be safe. Boom.